Good evening and welcome. You're on the Buck Stops here with me, Shiv Arur. It's a big political Tuesday here on NDTV. We're starting with some big breaking news. In a major setback for the Congress party, another top Congress leader has just walked out. Bhupen Borah is set to join the BJP on February the 22nd. Bhupen Borah is no small fry. He was the Assam Congress president until just a few weeks ago. And despite a call from Rahul Gandhi personally yesterday, creating some amount of suspense, Bhupen Borah has walked out of the Congress party and joined the enemy gang, the BJP under Himanta Biswa Sarma, the Chief Minister of Assam. That union has just taken place before we went live.
Sri Bhupen Borah, who happened to be my former colleague. We worked in the Congress together for almost 22 years. In fact, we joined together in the Congress party. I left little early. He is leaving Congress he has left Congress already. He will join BJP on 22nd February. His joining will obviously strengthen the party, and Bhupen Borah will be given all sort of respect, dignity.
Now, what has just happened in Assam is only the tip of the iceberg. The fact is that in every poll-bound state of 2026, the Congress party is actually facing a crisis. I've actually started to wonder, is there a disproportionate level of emphasis and attention on the Congress party? Is the BJP able to hide its fault lines a whole lot better? Or are these chain reaction crises that afflict the Congress very much a reality dogging the grand old party? It happens before almost every crucial election. In Kerala, you have the Congress leaders at war. The Tharoor tangle may have been managed for now, but just 24 hours ago, you had who else but Mani Shankar Ayyar declaring that Pinarayi Vijayan will be the next chief minister. He pulled no punches in sniping at other Congress leaders. You saw that first on NDTV. In Tamil Nadu, neighboring state of Tamil Nadu, where the Congress is also very strong, the party is divided on whether to ally with the DMK or go to the TVK of actor Vijay. The state party chief has complained against sitting member of parliament from the Congress party, Manikam Tagore, and Praveen Chakravarti, both close to Rahul Gandhi, both of whom have publicly demanded a share in power if the DMK Congress alliance wins in Tamil Nadu once again. Then there is the larger question of the Congress and Rahul Gandhi's national leadership. There is a chorus, as you know, viewer, that has been growing for Mamata Banerjee to be made the prime ministerial face of the opposition India alliance. A former media advisor to Dr. Manmohan Singh has in fact said it in so many words in a column in a national newspaper. State after state, it is the same story of infighting, of dissent, of instability, disarray, and a potential electoral disaster that could be brewing. So while I am telling you tonight about this big breaking story of what's happened in Assam with a man who was until just a few months ago the Congress state president in Assam switching camps despite a phone call from Rahul Gandhi and joining the BJP, this is not isolated to just Assam, and I'm going to show you why I'm saying that. Now, I have a map of the country here on my screen where I've superimposed every state where the Congress party actually has a problem. Since we started with Assam, let me reiterate. Senior leader Bhupen Borah, that's him. He's resigned, citing dissatisfaction. Leadership rift between Bhupen Borah and Gaurav Gogoi, who is the face of the Assam Congress. He's just switched over to the BJP. He addressed a press conference with Himanta Biswa Sarma and will be joining in a few days from now. From Assam, come down to Tamil Nadu, also a poll-bound state. Stalin says no scope for power sharing with the Congress party. Congress workers are demanding power sharing and alliance. Things have gotten so bitter that even the Congress versus Congress battles have erupted in this southern state. Come to the neighboring state of Kerala, also a poll-bound state. Mani Shankar Ayyar has backed Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan for another term. That lit a huge fire because he said they hate each other more than the communists. He has put a spotlight on what he says is rampant infighting between all the leading lights of the Kerala Congress. Then you come to West Bengal. Not that the Congress has much of a chance there. But no alliance with Mamta in 2026 West Bengal polls is even more emphatic this time, because the Trinamool has pitched Mamta as the leader of the India alliance. The insinuation is, Rahul Gandhi, you've had your chance, you're an abject failure. Please make way for Mamta Didi. Look at even Punjab, not a poll-bound state, but there you've got Navjot Kaur Sidhu, Navjot Singh Sidhu's wife, who quit some time ago for disciplinary issues, now openly slamming the Congress party, openly slamming Rahul Gandhi and praising Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Then come to Karnataka, which is a state that the Congress has ruled since 2023. The Chief Minister tussle, the Game of Thrones, is something you all know very well between Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar. The 2.5-year formula fight refuses to die down. Even now you have DK Shivakumar flaunt the number of MLAs he has supporting him, leading to most people wondering, especially in the public, what's going on? Are they really united, or are they still warring for that chair? Go up to Himachal Pradesh in the north once again. Vikramaditya Singh nearly walked out due to being sidelined by the sitting chief minister. The Congress lost one Rajya Sabha seat to the BJP due to cross-voting in Himachal Pradesh. A huge embarrassment for the party. Come down once again to Telangana. Again, a strong Congress-ruled state. Former Minister T. Jeevan Reddy is questioning BRS imports into the Congress party. The former minister says Congress loyalists are being sidelined and there is a tussle going on between him and Revanth Reddy. Gujarat, another state where the Congress is strong. March 2025, Rahul Gandhi had said half of Gujarat Congress is working for the BJP. Absolutely incredible thing to say. Neighboring Maharashtra, veteran Prithviraj Sawan surprised by the new Maharashtra Congress chief pick and says so in public. The new Maharashtra Congress chief is caught now in the Tipu Shivaji controversy. So this is what the India map looks like right now. The four states that are blinking are all poll-bound states. I would have also mentioned Puducherry, but that would have been getting into too many micro details. The other states are large states which had something worth mentioning. But believe you me when I say, viewer, that in each and every one of these states, it is possible to identify infighting, displeasure, disunity, crisis of some kind or the other. I don't even need to mention Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan because that is pretty much obvious for everyone. Let's debate, because the big breaking story tonight is what has happened in the Congress party in Assam with their recently changed Congress state president shifting over to the BJP. But like Manishankar Iyer has insinuated, this is a malaise that afflicts the Congress nationwide and especially in the poll-bound states. Let's debate tonight on the buck stops here. Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. Tushar Gupta, political analyst. Dr. Akriti Bhatia, political analyst, supports the Congress party. But I'd like to start with Rashid Kidwai, senior journalist, before I go to the analysts and the politicians. Rashid, the departure of Bhupen Borah from the Congress party to the BJP, you know, a symbol of unity with Himanta Biswa Sarma. Obviously, in terms of optics, it's terrible. But in terms of the election, how bad is this for the Congress?
Well, Shiv, I think it is only the outcome that will determine that how effective was this. But we must understand, in every election, before election, it comes a season of migratory birds. Migratory birds move, and they move with a lot of intensity. In this case, in case of Assam, I think we're going to see a lot more action. But here is an incumbent chief minister who is very hands-on and who knows, you know, a thing or two about politics, having been schooled in the, so to say, in the Congress culture. And he has, you know, there's a big lineup. I have some names also, big lineup. And mainly Congress. So the Congress is a target. And people are going to defect to the BJP, to AGP, to newer, smaller groups. And Shiv, you will find it sort of bit of paradoxical. A number of Muslim leaders are going to defect from the Congress in time to come. This is, this is to create, set, cat among pigeons. This is a sort of, as you said, it's about optics, and this is Himanta's way of deflecting from, the real core issues, the anti-incumbency factor, and everything. It's also a very poor and sad reflection of the Congress political management. If I knew that, Mr. Borah and several others are going to move and shift, and they were hand in glove with this. They were having talks and tactical understanding and the kind of lure of office and perks. What all goes on in the applied side of politics? It was all happening for last year. What were Congress managers doing?
Okay.
What was Bhupen Jitendra Singh doing?
Yeah.
And if they were so sure-footed that Mr. Borah is going, why was there no kind of preemptive?
No, and also there was apparently a phone call. There was a reported phone call from Rahul Gandhi yesterday. There was some suspense, and then now that exit has actually happened. Sanju, I want to come to you. You can respond to what Rashid says. First round of questions on the breaking story tonight of Bhupen Borah's exit from the Congress and joining the BJP. Sanju, to you first.
Shiv, I just want to say one thing. There is a quote by Narayan Murthy today where he says, growth is painful. Change is equally painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck in a place where you do not belong. The fact of the matter is simple. Tumse na ho paega is what the Congress karyakartas are telling Rahul Gandhi in as many words. He's inaccessible. There is no common ideology which binds the top brass to the Congress worker on the ground. And most importantly, I think Congress has made a habit of snatching loss from the jaws of victory. Imagine, Kerala, where the chances are bright, as you rightly said in your introduction. One is fighting against the other. In the south, it is D.K. Shivkumar versus Siddaramaiah versus K.C. Venugopal versus Manikam Tagore versus V.D. Satishan versus Praveen Chakravarti versus Ramesh Chenitalla, so on and so forth. In Himachal Pradesh, it has always been Pratibha Singh versus Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu. And in Maharashtra, it couldn't have gotten any worse. You have Prithviraj Chauhan versus Varsha Gaikwad versus Aslam Sheikh versus Nana Patole versus Bhai Jagtap. And in Punjab, which is going into polls next year, where till a couple of months back, people thought chances of the Congress party are high. Look at the situation. It is Pratap Singh Bajwa versus Amrinder Singh Raja warring. So my limited point is this. For everybody out there from the Darbari ecosystem who says, "Arey ambition hoti hai politics mein, mahatvakanksha hoti hai, so it is natural to see friction." Yes, it is natural to see friction. It is natural to have disagreements. Even in a corporate outfit with just, 100 members, you will see everybody wanting to be the senior vice president.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to remain a junior executive. But my limited point is, Rahul Gandhi refuses to wake up and smell the coffee. And I think that is where the problem is. Because Shiv, without being verbose, I'll end by saying one thing. I think the biggest quality of a leader is to stand shoulder to shoulder with your people, not when they win, but more importantly, when they lose.
Yeah.
After that debilitating loss in Bihar, Rahul Gandhi jetted off to Muscat, whereas people thought after getting only 6 out of the 61 seats that they contested, they would have actually seen their leader hand-holding them. But there was no hand-holding.
Sanju, I'm going to come to... I'll come to Rahul Gandhi in just a moment. I just want to open it up a little bit about, the story in Assam being a story that kind of reflects what's happening everywhere. And Rashid, Sanju is right. This goes beyond optics. She's listed some of them. I've listed many of the others as well. There is, something is wrong. This is not just about optics.
Yeah, so I think, it is fair on the part of Sanjeev Verma to criticize Congress. Congress needs to be criticized. But you must also see in Kerala, the Congress had a kind of unity. So Mr. Shashi Tharoor was on the verge of, exit. And, he came back and he became part of, so to say, the Congress ecosystem, which is fighting elections. Mr. Manishankar here has no roots in Kerala. He's from Tamil Nadu. And in Tamil Nadu, he's also a persona non grata, politically speaking. So therefore, while we should criticize the Congress by all means, we should also think that where, they're getting their house in order. And secondly, what do you do if somebody, as Sitaram Kesi used to say, then what do you do? Now he's saying that he has problem with, Gogai's Pakistani past and all. When did he discover? He was Congress president till May 2025. Shiv, you cannot be gloating over defection. Defection is a curse, whichever political party it happens. It's not because of the Congress that I'm saying.
No, I take your point.
Antithesis of parliamentary democracy. We must understand. In Britain, in America, in many vibrant democracies, defection is unheard of. This is a very Hindustani culture.
I take your point, Rashid, I take it respectfully, but my point is a little different. My point is that, looking at one or two defections, can be understood, it can be analyzed. But for these things to be happening right before big elections, coincidentally in those states, seems to confirm what the worst critics of the Congress always say. I know you are right about what you're saying. Defections are terrible. They are uniquely an Indian, sort of phenomenon. But that shouldn't divert from what is wrong with the Congress, which you also acknowledge. So, Sanju, quick word, then I want to get in Tushar and Akriti.
Rashid is a very erudite, political analyst with his leanings towards Congress, which is well known. So good luck to him. But I just want to say, for every Shashi Tharoor who has dissented and is yet within the Congress party ship, there is a Himanta Biswa Sarma, there is an RPN Singh, there is a Captain Amrinder Singh, there is a Sunil Jhakar, there is a Jitin Prasada, there is a Gaurav Vallabh, there is an Ashok Chavan. The list is endless. There is an Arjun Vodwadia. For the longest time, he was MLA from Porbandar in Gujarat and was the leader of opposition in Gujarat, representing the Congress party. And guess what? Today, he is in the Bhupendra Bhai Patel cabinet in Gujarat as the Minister for Science and Technology. Because Arjun Vodwadia said the same thing which Hardik Patel said after quitting the Congress. He said, Congress party का तो ये हाल है, 300 किलोमीटर जाएंगे राहुल गांधी के लिए चिकन सैंडविच खरीदने. उनके लिए राहुल गांधी के पास वक्त है, पर जो कार्यकर्ता जमीन पर काम करता है, राहुल गांधी के पास उनके लिए वक्त नहीं है. He refuses to meet.
Let me explore that point. Sanju, in a little more detail. Akriti, I stopped Sanju earlier when she mentioned Rahul Gandhi because I wanted to come to that finally, because ultimately the conversation has to involve Rahul Gandhi. These are not some disparate, problems that the Congress is facing. He is the man with whom the buck stops. He called Bhupen Borah yesterday, apparently, which led to a temporary change of heart. But at the end of the day, net, when you boil away all the water, Rahul Gandhi is the person who's unable to stop the Congress from lurching from one crisis to the other. That also has to be acknowledged, Akriti. You're on mute, Akriti.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. Shiv, I do acknowledge that the Congress party is facing a lot of crises of different kinds, but it's not collapse. Just as Rashidji was saying that defection is not healthy in a parliamentary democracy, dissent is very healthy in a parliamentary democracy. And in a space where coalition and multi-party systems have to sustain, there will be different interests, there will be different issues that will definitely have these kinds of differences. And as far as being able to bring them all together, that's something that the leadership must be able to do. And we see that there are a couple of issues happening there. We don't know what kind of incentives are basically, these leaders are driven with, and what is it that motivation has to happen. But saying that Rahul Gandhi is not trying or they're not being able to put together people, I think is little far-fetched. There are multiple examples of infighting. I have covered election on the ground, and I know that at MLA level, at panchayat level, there is infighting that takes place. It's just that these are being blown out of proportion when you look at the Congress party. And there are a lot of issues. If you look at the BJP, the leadership there, the state leaderships, they're not as strong. And that's a problem, because
but Akriti, it doesn't seem to.
Is not. It's a very, very. I
no, Akriti, but you're making a very theoretical, false equivalence. The BJP is not losing elections as a result of it, Tushar.
Yes.
The BJP, of course, has differences. There are people, I'm sure, who disagree and fight. I'm sure Sanju argues and fights with people in the BJP as well. But either they do a very good job of masking it and not allowing dirty linen to be washed in public, or it is not big enough for it to, affect actual electioneering, Tushar? I don't know. Am I wrong here?
No, absolutely not, Shiv. You're absolutely right. Political parties are made up of humans, not robots. There are going to be differences. But as long as those differences do not reflect on the performance of the party, everything is good. That is what matters at the end of the day, how the party is performing. But Shiv, the patterns are quite visible. Every election, that's the same pattern. A young leader and a former leader is in, quarrel with each other. We saw it in Rajasthan. 2020 in Madhya Pradesh, 2020 in Punjab, Congress snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. How do you explain what happened in Karnataka 2024? You come together with an alliance
23.
and then again you lose it before the 2024 Lok Sabha elections when you lose Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. So with the Congress, the patterns are quite clear. Haryana, after a stunning, victory, what the Congress defined it in 2024 Lok Sabha, you were the favorites in Haryana. What happens? The Hudas and Shailja Kumari are not getting along each other and you lose Haryana. In Maharashtra, you're a far distant third fiddle as a party. So the patterns are quite visible, Shiv. One, that the high command, it's not able to take decisions. The political succession in the states, the high command is not able to manage that. Number two, you said it in your introduction that Rahul Gandhi's call couldn't even convince Bhupen Borah. So if Rahul Gandhi cannot convince his state chiefs to stay in the party, who really can? Number three, Rahul Gandhi is also not giving his party any vision. You see how he jumps from issue to issue. A couple of months back, it was vote chori. A couple of weeks back, it was General Naravne's book. He just jumps from one issue to the other without giving his karyakartas. Before the voters, the karyakartas any clarity.
I'm glad you mentioned high command because that is something that Rashid Bhai is a PhD in. He's written endless columns about the high command. So Rashid, I want to ask you then, does this ultimately boil down to the high command? It doesn't brandish the same kind of strength anymore, to keep all the ducks in a row. Whether it is BK Hari Prasad versus DK Shivakumar, I mean, these are preposterous senior level arguments happening in public. And that's just one example.
I think, Shiv, we are missing the plot. We must understand that these kind of defections, the engineered defections, are used as a political strategy. It's an orchestrated thing. That is why I'm saying there is a design behind it. It was, premeditated, and people knew, in last 2-3 months before that this is what is exactly going to happen. And as I'm saying, half a dozen more Congress leaders are going to go in, a week's time or so, or 10 days time. So this is a build-up. This is not, Shiv, there are, 18 political parties in India, small and big, which are an offshoot of Congress party. Look at Mamata Banerjee, look at, Jagan Mohan Reddy, look at Sharad Pawar, look at, even BRS, TDP, they all, left the Congress and joined former political parties. So people do that. That's a manly thing to do.
Okay.
Now, not this kind of defection which is happened for a consideration and the eve of election. I'm not trying to, sound Puritan. What I'm saying is we must look at this. Why is Himanta doing this?
I understand what you're saying, but I have to take.
What is the ideological? No, please let me complete. What is the ideological compatibility that he has with the former Congress president?
Fair question.
The Congress and BJP from the same ideological thinking.
Yeah, Himanta himself
Now,
is of course from the Congress.
150 leaders have documented who have joined the BJP.
Yeah,
150.
No.
Okay, that's a fair question.
Let's Sanju answer that since she's from the BJP. Sanju, Rashid says, let's not underestimate the dirty tricks department. He didn't use that phrase, but the dirty tricks department of the BJP engineering many of the things that you're seeing right now and pinning that on Congress incompetence.
Shiv, there is this famous quote by Albert Einstein, the man who gave us theory of relativity. He says, it is insane to be making the same mistake again and again and again and expecting a different result each time. And I think that beautifully applies to Rahul Gandhi and the Darbari ecosystem led by the Congress party. There is no change in strategy. There are no lessons learned. There is no Atma Chintan. There is no Atma Manthan. There is no introspection. They had a great victory in Karnataka. They had a great victory in Telangana. Prior to that, they had a great victory in Himachal Pradesh. The moment they got those 99 seats in Lok Sabha 2024, they started clapping. Imagine, Indira Gandhi's lowest score in 1977 was 154. And Rahul Gandhi's best score for his party is 99, and he is still applauding his victory. That shows how different the two leaders are, his grandmother and him. But this is not about comparing the Congress lineage. I will just say one thing. You know, कहावत है जो जीता वही सिकंदर राजनीति में. You can say, अरे BJP में भी तो ऐसा होता है. Yogi is having problems with X, X is having problems with Y. But don't forget, the entire cabinet of Gujarat was changed 9 months ahead of elections. Vijay Rupani was removed and Bhupendra Bhai Patel was gotten. And everybody said, इस बार तो BJP गई गुजरात में, but Bhupendra Bhai Patel won. And my another example is this. Nobody had heard of Pushkar Singh Dhami.
I'm coming to you, Akriti. Let her finish. I'm coming to you. We have enough time, don't worry.
Pushkar Singh Dhami won elections for the BJP, leading Uttarakhand to its first victory consecutively in 19 years. Nobody asked any questions because they realized कि lotus, the symbol is so relevant that who stands for that symbol is less relevant. Whereas in the Congress party, हाथ का अभी कोई वजूद नहीं है. हाथ का कोई वजूद नहीं है. लोगों ने कहा टाटा बाय बाय.
Okay, Sanju, point.
टाटा बाय बाय.
Sanju, point taken, but by invoking Rahul Gandhi in all of her answers in a lighter vein, she has taken the name of this show to heart. The buck stops here, and it does stop with Rahul Gandhi. So I don't blame her for invoking Rahul Gandhi each time. But Akriti, you wanted to come in. You want to reply to Sanju? You're disagreeing.
Yes, that's exactly what we're trying to say, that the style of the BJP is extremely centralized with very little attention given to the leaders, the disagreements and the way elections are fought. That's really like it's borderline authoritarian in the sense that you don't have the dissent part taken into account. There are real.
But nobody seems to have a problem with that in the BJP, Akriti. I don't want to interrupt you. You can have your say. I won't interrupt you again. You can have your say. But I'm saying nobody seems to have a problem with it because elections are being won. Nobody cares about that.
Shiv, the voices are suppressed in a very subtle manner, and you don't get to know. The spokesperson just mentioned that for sandwiches they are going for 300 kilometers. Please, let's not get into all that, where the mushrooms are coming from and all of that, for the PM. It's really, this is not the kind of discourse that we are talking about right here. There's the kind of culture that
coming to you, Tushar. Let her finish. It's
really something that we need to, look out here.
No.
And by talking about.
One sec, let Tushar come in. I'll come to you, Sanju. We have time. Tushar. How personal politics has become since the both of you touched upon it. We all saw, just now.
Saying, let's not get there.
Just now in Parliament, we saw how personal things can get. And I was the first one to highlight what a waste and a washout it has been. Tushar, yes. Tushar, yes. Add to it on the topic.
My friend Rashid is here, so I want to tell him, one exit is a defection, 2 is probably deliberation, but 3 is a declaration. Something is clearly wrong with the party, and it's been going on before every state election for years now, not even a couple of elections. We could say that these defections are engineered if they happen once or twice, but they have been happening, more than thrice, far more than thrice, and it's happening with the allies also. You look at how Samajwadi Party was treated in Madhya Pradesh, you see how the seat sharing worked out in Bihar. And coming to the question of high command, because Akriti raised the point of the BJP being authoritarian, Himachal, Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka, every conflict within the Congress state leadership was decided at Tan Janpad. So how can we not, acknowledge the fact that somewhere the latency within Rahul Gandhi's leadership is also a problem for the party? Number 3, you tell me, Shiv, what is the ideology of Rahul Gandhi today? If the Karyakarta of a Congress wants to define Rahul Gandhi's ideology, where is the ideology? Because every second day the issue changes. How to define Rahul Gandhi's ideology? If he's approaching the state assembly election, what does really define Rahul Gandhi's politics? That is the problem.
Akriti, I'll come to you. No crosstalk. Otherwise, nobody will be able to hear both of you. I'll come to both of you. But Tushar raised a point.
I want to give you an example. Before Bihar, you had a complete yatra around the state that we want to advocate the vote chori problem. We want to talk to the voters. And it ended up being a trip where Rahul Gandhi was sitting in the bus and the bus was just crossing through districts. And when the results came,
also a motorcycle.
Congress was wiped out in those districts. Wiped out. So at the end of the day, the connect connect between Rahul Gandhi and the voters
Okay.
simply not there. You
No,
can
okay.
blame everything else.
Your point is
Where
taken.
the resonance?
Your point is taken, but this is it is relevant to what we're talking about. But I still want to talk about what the reasons for this are. Rashid, coming back to you, picking up on what Tushar has said. This is not one or two instances. It's happening all around. I'm not asking a rhetorical or a loaded question. I am seriously asking, how does the High Command view all these crises? How does do they believe they have any strength to stop them or preempt them or resolve them? Do all these warring factions no longer listen to the High Command's writ? Is that what is going on?
Shiv, I think that's a very pertinent question, and the Congress needs to really, not just introspect and all, but act upon, because there is no crisis management system. For instance, as a journalist, if I know that there are many people who have been in, talks with the BJP, with Himanta and all, and they're going to defect and somebody has defected, there was no mechanism. And that is where I think the role of, more than Rahul Gandhi, the role of General Secretary being Bhupen Jitendra Singh comes into play. What was he doing all along when he knew that this is exactly what is going to happen? And many people in Assam knew. Tushar and both Sanju, they're thinking individuals, they have political mind, they're not answering or responding to the questions. It is orchestrated, let us admit that. It is to deflect and draw, change the sort of, attention from the real issues of the Assam is going to face and the anti-incumbency. As I said, the outcome will determine everything. And the second more important thing that, Congress has gone through a lot of, a difficult time. And every time there was, people, they left when they had disagreement with Indira Gandhi or Rajiv Gandhi or Narasimha Rao. They formed regional political parties. There was Mamata Banerjee formed party, the Bangarappa formed party, Scindia formed party. So many people formed party at various stages of life. Why is that? And Shiv, I want to leave you with this thought. Why is that from 2014 back to back, 3 actually defeat, 14, 19, 24, no split in the Congress. And the Congress is bleeding white, because after every 6 months, a year, time of election, state assembly election, some one or the other important leader. Is it not orchestrated? 150 leaders.
Rashid is sticking with his charge that this is all orchestrated.
And there is no response from
engineered by the BJP, so don't read too much into it. Yes, Sanju, coming to you, Tushar, coming to you. Let me go in order so everyone gets a chance.
I have tremendous respect for Rashid. At least he does not masquerade as a political analyst. There are many people who are Congress bhakts, but they sit on TV debates as political analysts. At least Rashid is honest to say he's a journalist.
No personal comments. Come on, Sanju.
Okay. Now let me come. Shiv, let me finish. The limited point is this, Rashid. Do not get into the kitchen if you can't stand the heat. If Rahul Gandhi is unsuitable for the hurly-burly of Indian political landscape, he should quit. Point number one. Point number two, which Shiv also mentioned at the start of his introduction. Inflation, government, Modi government was willing to discuss Rahul Gandhi MIA. Adani Modi government was willing to discuss MIA. Unemployment, Manipur, Pegasus, CAA, Waqf, Article 370 abrogation, SIR, vote chori ka mudda, Galwan, Doklam. Every issue Modi government said we will discuss. But Rahul Gandhi, what did he do? He did 9 do 11. Shoot and scoot politics is the hallmark of Rahul Gandhi. But I will only say this. In politics, you are as good as your last victory. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was the first elected Prime Minister in 62 years to take charge as Prime Minister for the third time running, Shiv, in 2024.
Okay.
He is relentless. He is relentless. He is tireless. And as JP Nadda said, my last point, JP Nadda once while addressing our media spokespersons told us, आज बीजेपी एक ही पैन नेशनल पैन इंडिया पार्टी है. कांग्रेस के पास ना नीति है, ना नियत है, ना नेतृत्व है.
Okay. Tushar wanted to add to your reply to
भानुमति ने कुनबा जोड़ा.
Tushar wanted to reply to Rashid.
No,
Go ahead.
Mr. Rashid Kidwai keeps making the point about Congress during Indira Gandhi or Rajiv Gandhi. Let's be honest, the kind of political capital Rajiv Gandhi and Indira Gandhi had, Rahul Gandhi doesn't dictate that. Number two, about Assam. the anti-incumbency is against the BJP. The momentum to some extent would be with Gaurav Gogoi because of the transition the state has seen, the kind of issues that are coming up. And yet the state chief is not convinced by Rahul Gandhi. Number 3, after 2024, the momentum was with Rahul Gandhi, Haryana election, Maharashtra, Delhi. Shiv, I can vouch for the fact that the campaigning for Delhi election began right after 2024 because they were anticipating a victory.
Of course it
but
did.
somewhere, the resonance, and I keep saying this after every election, you raised the point about Mamata Banerjee leading the alliance. You remember in October 2021, we were having the exact same debate that should Mamata Banerjee lead the alliance, and 5 years later,
Same thing.
back to
No, you're right.
So somewhere the resonance between the voters and Rahul Gandhi, even after 20 years of him being in active politics, it's just not there.
This is a very correct point that Tushar is saying on a larger theoretical level. I'm not even talking just about parties. And the point I want to make, and Akriti, I will come to you, is that Sanju mentioned when I talked about all parties have netas with ambitions who fight. Take, for example, the 2024 election, where there were media reports that there were misgivings over election strategy between Yogi Adityanath and Home Minister Amit Shah. Journalists are scared to say this out loud. I am not scared. I will say it out loud. Okay, there were misgivings. What did the BJP do? The BJP went to work while the Congress and the other parties were celebrating and confetti was being thrown. The BJP went to work, as Tushar pointed out. They probably started strategizing for Haryana and for all the other states and for Delhi. And look what happened. There are problems in every party. The question here is, it's been 12 years since the Congress lost power at the center, and they don't seem to be able to solve those problems. Akriti, that is the problem.
Yes, so the only thing that I am trying to say has already been said indirectly by Tusharji and Sanjuji as well, where Tushar said that, there are these patterns, right? These patterns are showing that there are systemic tendencies in this whole thing where the kind of role, the richest party in the world, one of the richest, the BJP is saying, there are many countries where elections happen, but they've lost their true meaning, and we don't want to get there. As Indians, I think we all need to be very cautious when real allegations regarding the institutional integrity or the election systems are happening. I think we all need to take that seriously, and I am not here.
No, but this is also what Rahul...
I think the of the Congress party, there are a lot of gaps. When it comes to the cadre, the organizational structure building, and the pipeline for communication.
But Akriti, this is pretty much what Rahul...
BJP has.
What you
Look
have...
at the resources, the kind of resources that they have. Whether they have to buy votes or netas.
Okay, Tushar wants to rebut Akriti. Go ahead.
BJP, I need to respond.
I'll come to you. I'll come to you right at the end. Yes, Tushar.
And last
Akriti is probably misrepresenting my words.
About the ideology, I think it's very clear. It's
even
about
after years,
institutional integrity, about equality in India.
No.
Okay.
No,
point made, Akriti. Let Tushar respond.
No. I think I was being misquoted by Akriti when she said there are some systemic issues. No. I am saying that election after election, even when the anti-incumbency is against the BJP, the momentum is with the Congress. Why are there leaders leaving Rahul Gandhi's leadership? That itself sends a message. Let's go back to March 2020. Scindia, you remember that photo he had put out between Kamal Nath and Scindia and the Leo Tolstoy quote? And what happened months later, the government falls in Madhya Pradesh. What happened in Rajasthan? Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot are loggerheads. Captain Amrinder Singh versus Navjot Singh Sidhu and ended up with Charanjit Singh Chennai. Then you see it in Madhya Pradesh. Also, you see it in Rajasthan, Himachal, everywhere. My point is that Rahul Gandhi is not able to steer the ship correctly.
In public, and there's disagreement which might or might not find consensus.
Okay.
So that's
Ma'am, the voters need to find that resonance. It's not about
all of the but this is something I've said in the past as well.
Between the party and the voters.
This is something I've said in the past as well. A disproportionate, Sanju, coming to you, and then I'll end with Rashid. I'm just to close the loop on what Tushar and Akriti were saying. A disproportionate level of resources within the Congress party are spent on branding and relaunching and reshaping and redefining Rahul Gandhi, rather than what should be instincts for organization building and organizational repair. This is a party that does not have a grassroots presence in many places. But yes, Sanju, quick last word, then I'll end with Rashid.
Shiv, when I was doing my MBA, we were taught a very important lesson. The biggest disservice you can do to a failed product is not to take it off the shelf. And that is precisely the problem with the Congress party. Rahul Gandhi is a failed product, but his repeated resurrections and relaunches is what the Congress party is beholden to.
Okay.
But I will just end by saying one thing. Shiv, please, today you've been a bit unfair to BJP.
No, never unfair to anyone. You know me. I'm the Iklota anchor of mainstream media who gives time to everyone. Nobody can charge me on that.
Shiv,
Yes.
Shiv, just 10 seconds more.
Please.
10 seconds more.
Please.
I just want to say this. People who question EVMs, people who question India's electoral process, in the last so many decades, the Congress party or its allies won 14 out of the 17 elections held in Amethi with a strike rate of 82%. Koi BJP neta ne rona dhona nahi kiya. The Congress party won 17 out of 19 elections in Rai Bareli.
Okay.
The BJP lost.
Then
We
please,
never tried.
investigate them and show evidences. There's
Okay.
Rona dhona band karo.
Okay. I'm going to end who I started.
Rona band kariye.
Okay. I'm going to end with who I started with. That is Rashid. Rashid,
Rona band kariye.
no more analysis, no more opinions. I'm asking you straight. The infighting that's happening in poll-bound Tamil Nadu right now, is there going to be some divorce, or is this all just smoke and mirrors between the DMK and the Congress party?
Well, I don't know, but I think to conclude this debate, you must understand the timing of it. Tomorrow, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra was going to Assam. It was to be her, first big show in the poll-bound state. And Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma has been able to rattle the Congress. So this is a limited point that is there. Every politician has a right to learn and live, and Mr. Bhupen Borah is within his rights to do so. But the timing is very intriguing, and as I said, it's very, it's orchestrated.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I asked you about DMK and Congress. You didn't answer that, but I promised to bring you all back on a separate show to talk about that, because that fight doesn't seem to be in any position to end anytime soon. There's DMK versus Congress, there is Congress versus Congress, and the BJP, very much like Sanju's smile tonight, is watching from the sidelines and saying, let this entire cauldron simply burn and bubble. We'll watch. We'll watch and see what happens in Tamil Nadu. Oh, okay, I'm out of time. Thank you very much, Sanju, Rashid, Tushar, and Akriti, for being with me here tonight on The Buck Stops Here. Very quick break. Much more coming up on the other side. Stay with us.